Shabbat Shalom, family in Messiah Yeshua. Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide YouTube and social media community. This is your beloved brother ShaulYisrael. Come back again with another Yahweh inspired message. I'll be reading on this Shabbat day from the book of Leviticus chapter 23. I'll be reading on this Shabbat day from the book of Leviticus chapter 23 starting at verse 1. And I'll read. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, Concerning the feast of Yahweh, which you shall proclaim to be set apart convocations, even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done. But the seventh day is the spot of rest and set apart convocation. You shall do no work therein. It is the Shabbat of Yahweh in all your dwellings. So the first feast day and set apart gathering is the weekly Shabbat. 6 days shall work be done. But the seventh day is the Shabbat of rest and set apart convocation. You shall do no work therein. It is the Shabbat of Yahweh in all your dwellings. That's the first feast day, prescribed feast day of Yahweh, the weekly Shabbat, as is written in Exodus chapter 20, starting at verse 8. Remember the Shabbat day to keep it set apart. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Shabbat of Yahweh and Yahweh. In it you shall not do any work. You, nor your son, nor your daughter, your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your strangers within your gates. For 6 days Yahweh made Shamaim and the rest, or heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rest the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the seventh day and set it apart. So that's the first feast day, the weekly Shabbat. Continue, verse 4. These are the feasts of Yahweh, even set apart convocation or set apart gathering, which you shall proclaim in their seasons. So the feast days of Yahweh are yearly observances we're commanded to observe and commemorate. They are set apart gatherings. So we guard the feast days as a community, as an assembly. There's no lone or individual observance of the feast days of Yahweh. There's no lone observance of the feast days of Yahweh. These are the feasts of Yahweh, even set apart convocation, which you shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month at even is Yahweh's Passover. In the 14th day of the first month at even is Yahweh's Passover. So the second feast day is the Passover, which we observe in the evening on the 14th day. The evening of the 14th day at even. That's at night. The second feast day is Yahweh's Passover, where we commemorate what Yahweh did on behalf of our ancestors when He delivered them from Egyptian bondage. And also we commemorate the sacrifice and death of our Messiah and soon coming King Yeshua of Nazareth. Verse 6, and on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto Yahweh. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. So the second feast day, the third feast day rather, is the feast of unleavened bread, which we celebrate on the 15th day of the same month, We celebrate on the 15th day of the same month. Seeing that, because according to verse 5, in the 14th day of the first month at even is Yahweh's Passover. So the day side of the 14th day is a preparation day for the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of Unleavened Bread unto Yahweh. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. That's the third feast, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And the first day you shall have a Sabbath convocation. You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh 7 days. In the seventh day, in the Sabbath convocation, you shall do no servile work therein. So the third feast is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. For that feast day, as an assembly, wherever we host it at, there can be no leavening agents in that host assembly. And we commemorate Yahweh's giving of provision, commemorate Yahweh giving of provision in the person to redeem us unto himself, Yeshua HaMashiach. Verse 8, verse 9, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say to them, when you be come into the land which I given to you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. Verse 9, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say to them, when you be come into the land which I given to you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. So the fourth feast day is the Feast of First Fruits, where we commemorate Yahweh's giving unto us, prospering us, by bringing a portion of what Yahweh has prospered unto the house of Yahweh. And that provision will be used to support the ministry, the poor, the widow. And he shall wave the sheep before Yahweh to be accepted for you. On the morrow after Shabbat, the priest shall wave it. You shall offer that day when you wave the sheep and he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto Yahweh. Now, the offering of he lambs that has been suspended because of the sacrifice of Yeshua HaMashiach. We just commemorate these festivals in understanding that we honor Yahweh's provision for us. We feast together. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire to Yahweh for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of the hin. And you shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the 17th day that you have brought an offering unto your El. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generation in all your dwellings. And you shall count unto you from the morrow after Shabbat, from the day that you brought the sheep of the wave offering, 7 Shabbats shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Shabbat shall you number 50 days, and shall offer a new meal offering unto Yahweh. You shall bring out of your habitation 2 wave loads of 2/10 deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven. They are the first fruits unto Yahweh. This is the fifth feast is the Feast of Pentecost, where we commemorate the giving of the word of Yahweh. And you shall offer with the bread, 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto Yahweh, for the meat offering, and their drink offerings, even its offering made by fire, sweet savor unto Yahweh. They shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of shalom offerings. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first week for a wave offering before Yahweh. With the 2 lambs they shall be set apart to Yahweh for the priest. And you shall proclaim on the 17th day that it may be a several convocation unto you. You shall do no several work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not make clean riddance of the corners of your field. When you reap, neither shall you gather any gleaning of your harvest. You shall leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am YAHWEH. From verse 15 on to verse 22, that's all the feasts of Pentecost. That's the 5th feast day, the feast of Pentecost. Verse 23, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, shall you have a Shabbat, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and set apart convocation. You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. That's the 6th feast day, the feast of trumpets. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be in several convocation unto you. It shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. And you shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before YAHWEH. Whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that does any work in that same day, that soul will I destroy from among his people. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generation in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Shabbat of rest. You shall afflict your souls. In the 9th day of the month of even, from even unto even, shall you celebrate your Shabbat. So the 7th feast day is the Feast of Atonement. On to the 8th feast day, verse 33. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 50th day of the 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto Yahweh. On the 1st day shall you be in several convocation. You shall do no several work therein. 7 days you shall offer offering made by fire unto Yahweh. On the 8th day shall be in several convocation unto you. You shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly, and you shall do no several work therein. These are the feasts of Yahweh, which you shall proclaim to be several convocation. The offering made by fire unto Yahweh, a burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, and a drink offering, everything beside this day. Beside the Shabbat of Yahweh, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings which you give unto Yahweh. So like I said, on the feast days, we commemorate them in spirit and truth, with understanding that Yeshua HaMashiach is our high priest, is our means of reconciliation for the cause. We the sacrifices that were offered under those feast days are suspended. We commemorate them respectively, honoring our about Yahweh and honoring his means of reconciling his sacrifice for us. And we feast on those days, with the exception of the Feast of Atonement. And the seventh of the Day of Atonement. Verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land, shall keep a feast unto Yahweh 7 days. On the first day shall be a Shabbat. And on the 8th day shall be a Shabbat. And you shall take you on the first day the boughs of willow trees, the branches of palm trees, the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and you shall rejoice before Yahweh El. And you shall keep it a feast unto Yahweh 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute in your generation. You shall serve it in the 7th month. You shall join in booths 7 days. All that are Israelite born shall join in booths. So like I said, these are the 8 feast days. The weekly Shabbat, and then the 7 feast days. Number 1, the weekly Shabbat. Number 2, the Feast of Passover. Number 3, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Number 4, the Feast of First Fruits. Number 5, the Feast of Pentecost. Number 6, the Feast of Trumpets. Number 7, the Feast of Atonement. Number 8, the Feast of Tabernacles. Those are your prescribed feast days. Now, we have memorials, commemorations, and they are the Feast of Purim, the Feast of Dedication, the Feast of Nicanor, and the Day of Silence. There are 4. This is an overview of the annual observances that Yahweh commands us to observe. When Yahweh lead me, I will go into an explanation of them. But these are the feast days of Yahweh. That is part of the doctrine of Yahweh. Along with it is the dietary restrictions, dietary instructions that we must keep. This ministry, the truth is out there that Yahweh has granted me. I believe in the whole book. And in being reconciled with Yahweh, we keep these feasts with the understanding that Yeshua is our sacrifice. For that cause, the sacrifice that were offered under the feast days have to be suspended. So we honor on these respective feast days the sacrifice of Yeshua HaMashiach. We honor our Yahweh, who gave us his word, who had mercy upon us to give us a sacrifice to reconcile us back into himself. Again, family, this merely is an overview of the 8 feast days of Yahweh and the 4 memorials of Yahweh. Like I said, let me show you the memorials. In Esther, bear with me, family. Yeah. Yeah, Esther. Yeah. 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 Esther chapter 9 and verse 27. Start verse 26. Esther 9:26. Wherefore they called these days Purim, after the name of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter, and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews, the Yehudim, ordained, and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all such as joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, that they would keep these 2 days, according to their writing, according to their appointed time every year, and that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, and every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Yehudim, nor the more of them perish from their seed. That's the commemorate Yahweh delivering our ancestors in the days of Esther from being exterminated through the vain and evil imagination of Haman. That's the Feast of Purim. Esther 9. Chapter 9. And this first the Feast of Purim, the Feast of Dedication. And then there's the Feast of the Day of Simon and the Feast of the Destruction of Nicanor. Remember, this is just an overview, family. Just an overview. As y'all would lead, I'll go into further explanation of these feasts that y'all command us to keep, to observe. For in Christianity, they reject Yahweh's feast days. But we're still commanded to keep these feast days yearly. I pray Yahweh give an understanding to those who consider these things. And those who refuse to hear, who seek to mock, ridicule, and despise, Yahweh rebuke them, grant them a witness of damnation against the soul. Let your power reprove them. I thank Yahweh for stirring my mind to speak forth your word of truth on this Shabbat day. In your name and in the name of your beloved Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, so be it, Shalom.